everybody. So, welcome to Rachel's Reviews. This is our series, what we do where we talk about the best and worst of one of our favorite actors. And this is a little taste of what we have going on at the Hidden Gems podcast that we do every Friday. So, if you enjoyed this, then make sure to listen to the longer episode. So, today we are talking about the best and worst of Anne Hathaway because we reviewed The Witches that just came out last week onto HBO Max, and we're talking HBO Max on our episode. So we're talking best and worst of Anne Hathaway. I'm film critic Rachel Wagner, and Ryan's here.
Hey Rachel, so great to be back with you once again, and I am so excited to talk about Anne Hathaway because she is someone who came around like in a time when I was growing up, and I would always see her in the Princess Diaries movies, and I'm like, wow, this girl's really good, and she is just absolutely exploded in terms of her acting chops. Coming up with a best for Anne Hathaway was not as difficult as Michael Keaton, but kind of similar difficulty because I was like, okay, I like her in that, and I like her in that, and I also like her in that. I think she's a brilliant Catwoman, and I love her I was one of the people that actually liked her in Ocean's 8, so it was kind of
Mhm.
hard. And there's also The Intern, which is very underrated. So this was hard.
She's done a lot of variety. I mean, everything from Brokeback Mountain to even being a voice actress and things like Rio, which I really enjoy. And so, yeah, she has quite a bit of variety going on in her career. And she's done comedies, dramas. She, of course, did a musical famously. She won the Oscar for In Les Miserables. And so we're going to talk about what we think are the best and worst. So make sure to put your answers in the comment section, what you would pick for best and worst of Anne Hathaway. So for me, we'll start with the best, and I'm going to pick The Devil Wears Prada as my favorite Anne Hathaway performance. This was probably her breakout role. That or Princess Diaries, but I loved The Devil Wears Prada. I love her sort of transformation throughout the film, where she starts to become this person that she initially hated, and yet the compulsion be to be a perfectionist at her job and to be good at her job kind of changes her. And I remember when this came out was right when I was really unhappy with my job, and it was literally right in the thick of it. It was when I was very unhappy in my job, and I had a Miranda Priestley esque manager slash boss that I hated. So I really connected to this movie.
Yeah, my only real exposure to this movie is the episode from The Office where Michael Scott goes, "Where is Armani?" And then Pam's like, "I don't know," and he's like, "On the phone," and then he's like, "Where is Armani? He's on the phone. Too slow. You are not going to Paris." And that's like the only thing that I know from that movie.
Oh yeah,
But
it's
I've
pretty
heard
good.
nothing but good things though, so I should really check it out.
Yeah. Normally I'm kind of reticent with the whole ice queen of business thing that like if a woman is professionally successful, she's always portrayed as kind of this jerk. But I don't know. Meryl Streep is so good in it, and like I said, it just hit me at just the right time when I was literally going through a similar experience. So, I really think it's done well. So, yeah. So, what is your best of Anne Hathaway?
So my favorite Anne Hathaway performance is from Interstellar. This is a movie that's directed by Christopher Nolan. For a while, I thought this was the most Nolan of Nolan's films. Then Tenet basically told us, "Hold our confusing beer," and so
Yeah, that's right.
it's now Nolan's silver medal. But anyway, this is a movie that I didn't see. I saw it in theaters in 2014 and then never saw it again. Not for any profound reason, but just because it was one of those where it's like, I like this, but I need to think about it more. And it took me like 6 years to finally revisit it for my Nolan Month series over on my channel. And this movie has just gotten better the more time has gone on. You could talk for hours about Matthew McConaughey. He is incredible in that movie, but equally as good is Anne Hathaway. Uh, she gives a very leveled and nuanced performance here, and she's so committed to getting back to Earth, and just seeing her and McConaughey and the rest of this crew struggle with the whole time of the matter. Like, one day on Earth is 7 years on that planet, or maybe that's the reverse of that. And you've seen their struggles and their failures, and you're just willing them to get off the planet and try and figure everything out.
Yeah, I really think so. I mean, she is her and Murphy, Jessica Chastain's character, are kind of the emotional core of the film. They're because they keep it from just being sort of science and being cold, to because they're about relationships and they're about something deeper. Right. So for the worst of Anne Hathaway, I talked about her in a romantic comedy-esque kind of film with The Devil Wears Prada. To me, a bad example of that kind of film is Bride Wars. And this is particularly a kind of movie that I really dislike. I guess maybe partly as a single woman and near 40, to have a movie about these people that are fighting about something as silly as a wedding. I get that weddings are stressful and I get that planning it is a lot of work. I understand that. But in the end, if you have found somebody who's willing to commit to you for the rest of your life, you are a lucky human. And a wedding is a party. It's not the end of the world. And if the details are not perfect and if everything isn't perfect, and I cannot stand bridezillas. I don't like them in Hallmark movies. I don't like them in real life. I don't like them in this movie. Enemies to lovers thing, that is a thing. And the anger being the flip side of love, that's a thing. But you still have to keep your characters likable enough that you want them to be happy at the end, that you feel a sense of joy when they do find love at the end. This, you just couldn't care less about these two women. They're so awful. I hate them so much. And so this movie stinks. I hate it. Even Candice Bergen cannot make a laugh.
And I've never seen Bride Wars, but I have a feeling just from you saying it, it's like one after another after another after another after another, to the point where, like, all right, I like nobody in this movie, and I hope you all jump off a bridge.
Yeah, seriously, that's true. I mean, even I was just seeing that Candice Bergen got nominated for a Razzie for this movie. So I mean, it's not that the Razzies matter at all, but still, I mean, it's just that's how bad it is.
Matters
It's
to Tom
it,
Green.
it's really bad. So, what do you have as your worst?
So my worst is from 2010, and it is the live action remake of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not overly attached to Alice in Wonderland. I respect it as a book and as the original Disney animated classic from the 60s. But when I saw this was at the time where it was like every gimmick at the book was being thrown at the window. 3D, CGI, just everything in total. This was the movie where I recognized Tim Burton has officially stopped trying, because this movie is essentially, for a movie about Wonderland, a movie about just colors and wild stuff, it's black and white and like very, very dark gray, in the words of Lego Batman. It's just Anne Hathaway as the White Queen, who's basically like, Alice, we have found our
Yeah,
champion. And it's just
she's
like, ugh.
so bad.
I
And then
could
the
I could
sequel
talk
is
about
even
this.
worse.
I could
She's
talk
even
about
worse.
I could rant about the live action Alice in Wonderland movies for actual days.
So screechy and so like it loses all of the whimsy of the original Disney animated classic, or even the novel. It doesn't have any fun. It doesn't have any nonsense. They put in this prophecy, and there's all this devastation, and it's bad.
The
I mean, if I had to pick, I would rather watch Bride Wars than watch Alice in Wonderland.
the
But I
the
let
Red
you have
Queen
it.
the
It
Red
is
Queen is evil, and
terrible.
the Red Queen is evil in these movies because she got framed for stealing tarts. Think
Yeah,
about that.
so bad.
It's
Tartgate.
like
So there you go. That is our best and worst of Anne Hathaway. Let us know what you would pick for your best and worst in the comment section or on Twitter. We would love to hear. And so, Ryan, where can people find you?
they can find me ranting about Alice in Wonderland 2010 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at RyanCam_20. And then there's also my YouTube channel, just Ryan Cam. We're taping this on a Monday, which means yesterday my episode of Scary Mania for the Silence of the Lambs has dropped. I've been covering 31 horror movies in 31 days, and I'm just going to be wrapping it up by covering Sleepy Hollow, a much better Johnny Depp movie, Event Horizon, Saw, The Ring, and then wrapping it up with Hereditary and Don't Breathe. And then once Scary Mania is over, going to be going in straight back into the AFI project, covering Midnight Cowboy and Intolerance and Lord of the Rings, and just a lot of great movies coming your way. And then also, when The Mandalorian drops on Friday, I will be covering that, and I'll be covering the entirety of season 2. So if any of you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. I put a lot of time into it. I'm very proud of it, and I think you all will really enjoy it.
Yes, you should all subscribe. It's really, really good. And make sure you like this video and subscribe to Rachel's Reviews. Would really appreciate that. And then also make sure you're following the Hallmarkies podcast. You will really enjoy all the stuff we have going on there. We're going to be covering all things Christmas for the next 3 months. So make sure to check that out. And then also, we have our Patreon group and merch store with information for that in the description section. So, thanks so much for listening and let us know your thoughts, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.